Welcome back to Tifosi Time, everyone. Your weekly City Out podcast where we discuss everything Calcio, from your favorite teams to transfer news to whatever else catches our fancy. This week, we'll be discussing everything that happened during week 27, the debacle that is Juventus and everything associated with it. My name is Frank. Before we go on to the other host, though, quick reminder, like this, subscribe if you would all like Calcio and want to join the conversation. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. So say hello, Dan, Chris, Pietro, say hello.
Hey. Hi. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Let's get into it.
We got a lot of bashing to do. Come on.
We do have a lot of bashing to do.
It depresses me. I can't.
So for anyone who's new watching this, you're going to hear a lot of Juventus hate probably over the next hour, and we are all Juventus fans. So get ready for it. You know it's coming from a good place. All right, who wants to start? So let's obviously start with the Juventus Benevento debacle. I can't even, missed opportunity. I don't even call it a missed opportunity because we know what they are at this point, but
it was embarrassing.
Initial thoughts.
Embarrassing. They lost. They tied them earlier in the season, and then they lost. They didn't beat them once this season. This is why they're dropping out of the top four. All right,
Beepo.
They are terrible.
Listen, not only that, Benevento hasn't won in like 3 months.
Yeah,
and they go in there home. Juventus is home and lose 1-0. Are you kidding me? The team who has the worst defense in the league, you can't get one goal past them. Get out of here. This team's disgraceful.
Oh.
I don't know. I made a card. I don't know if Dom wants to throw it up, but we can see the stats and numbers and stuff.
They were terrible.
This was This was an exact. This was everything that's wrong with this Juventus team. Right, was in this game for my money, and it is disgraceful. It's not that, look, any team can lose to any team, but the problem is that this is what's been going on all year. And instead of taking an opportunity to play Benevento and win your 3 points and keep at least the little bit of pressure that was on Inter, and it was very little, you lose points. I mean, you lose ground to them. I mean, come on, give me a break.
Excuse me, direct. I see a red card. What? There wasn't a red card.
That's a misprint. Sorry about that. You found the mistake.
Let's start to
you found the mistake.
So
there's no red cards.
I think I texted you guys during this game like 15 minutes.
I didn't see the red card.
It's there.
No,
it's in the middle.
At the Benevento.
It has a 1 by accident.
I texted you.
But take it off.
Oh,
I texted you guys 15 minutes in, and I said I would take off 6 players right now and play a man down. That's how bad.
Yeah, you did.
It was disgusting. Very, very bad. Arthur, what team is he playing for? Why is he on this team? Terrible.
That was a nice pass he made. Nice assist.
It was embarrassing, dude. The Lit, worst game he's been since he's been here.
Who?
The Lit.
He was the one over the yesterday.
He was terrible.
He was very
What
shaky.
are you talking about?
So a little bit I saw. I didn't see him do anything.
I'm starting to play about the Pirlo's game at the project. Still, I don't know what he's playing.
No,
he started to play the defense up. Now I see the defense back. And with that defense, in that defense there is Bonucci, which the whole thing he does, the whole thing people like about him is the long pass. He don't even try that now.
He's not even good at it.
He don't even try that now. So they ask, what game will we play? How we are the place? Let's just start. We don't have a midfield, right? And the guy, I would have kept his McCann. The rest, they could go home. All of them.
Pretty much.
Maybe Bentancur, I would have put it to a little bit Mezzala, because he can press the defense, their defense, but not in the place. But not even that. And just to keep McCann and do the midfield all over. That's not the game. I don't know what kind of playing.
So wait. You're saying you don't know? You're saying you don't know? These players don't know. They are lost, dude. They're terrible. It's not.
There's no movement.
It's terrible.
Right? They don't press together. They don't have a shape. They don't move off the ball. They don't know where the person's going to be. When they do have a chance to pass, they mess up the pass. There's so much wrong, and they're so dependent on Ronaldo that sometimes I feel like they go out of their way to try to pass the ball into traffic where Ronaldo is instead of playing another pass. Like, that's a little bit on the players. Like, you can't just try to pass to Ronaldo the whole time. Like, don't you see the game? Haven't you played your whole life? Like, play to the correct spot to get an opportunity. Don't cross the ball to Ronaldo because it's Ronaldo. It's so annoying.
Well,
but we go from there, Frank. We go from there. We know Ronaldo is not Messi, right? He don't like to play 1-2.
Yeah.
He just like to have a good pass to him and him to score, to kick a goal. That's his game, right? The problem is we never get there with pass.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's
and
not
there. All think I learned all this think through. You know, they were a thing to sell. They are still think to sell the Dybala. It's an old guy who can do something in there.
The only person who can link two passes is the ball.
Yeah.
No, nobody else can do that.
By the way, do you have no heat in your house? Why are you wearing 37 layers?
Because it's cold. Let me tell you.
I'm just playing with you. I just noticed that. I'm like, what's going on?
The big issue here, and we're obviously going to get to it, Pirlo is the big issue here. It's what are they doing? They already said, though, they're going to, he's staying, Ronaldo staying, whatever. But when you see Pirlo 70 minutes not make a sub until the 70th minute again after that terrible display, the 70 minutes, you don't know what you're doing. You're in over your head. You notice
something. You notice the people on the bench like Chiellini, Bonucci, Buffon. They talk more than him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's trying to wake up people.
Listen, let's face it, right? This is Dan just said it. The real thing is, should Pirlo be given another year? Based on how the team has played in the record, the answer is no. No one could defend another year of Pirlo. For the Juventus jersey, the level of play, what he's gotten out of these players, and what you see on the field. If it was not Pirlo, if it was a random guy, he may not even made it to the end of the season. He might have gotten fired after Benevento game.
Christmas.
He might have been fired by this Benevento game. He might have gotten fired. Right now, the question is
Champions League. When they get
I'm just saying at the very least, right? The question is how much of it is Pirlo, and how much of it is the team's fault. The guy had never coached anyone, right? You need to know what he can do and not do. Not because he goes to pass his 3-month thesis and he got his license, all of a sudden he's going to coach Juventus. There was people that talk about Pirlo is going to be a tremendous coach because he was a champion on the field. The two things are not related at all in any sport that you've seen, right? They're just not. Because you're a champion, you do stuff naturally on the ball does not mean you know how to coach and put a team in play. So the thing is, should Pirlo be fired based on what he's done with the team? Yes, 100%. Do I think that that's necessarily going to solve everything? Not if you have the same roster and the same people making the same decisions, right? Like if you give Gasparini this team, are they going to play better? Yes.
No,
but they still are flawed.
No,
They're flawed. No, they would. Gasparini would make them play better.
No, you see, if you want to give a chance to Pirlo, right? The first thing you have to take out all the people: Buffon, Chiellini, Bonucci, Ronaldo, Danilo. Did you see that play? Even in the mistake, Arthur. He wasn't dancing in there. Come on, that's the way
just didn't go to the ball. Like what are you doing? Yeah,
that was bad on so many levels.
All the 2 games he did good when he played midfield. He lost with this game. I want to send him away. It's not good.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The team, any coach, right? And you can't say, okay, that's another reason maybe where you shouldn't have put Pirlo in charge. When you have so many senators of Juventus that have just as glorious of a career as Pirlo himself, and now he's their coach. That's another reason not to put Pirlo in this spot, right? Because you need but in the end of the day, you're the coach. You have to make it happen with the players you have.
Even if we give it to Pirlo, the team next year, you take Buffon, Chiellini, Bonucci, Ronaldo out. Those he will be able to coach a team. To say,
no,
to give
from what we've seen, no.
I don't know.
From what we've seen, no, he doesn't read the game well. He takes too long to make subs. There's no movement. Don't tell me. So what? You're telling me that Pirlo has this great movement off, but they're not listening to him because they're champions and they don't want to listen to. I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're all saying no. I'm not going to listen.
They don't move it the right way. They don't move it the right way.
And by the way, if you want to coach a bunch of young kids, then you don't coach Juventus. You don't coach those teams. Right? You go coach Benevento, or you go like you can't coach Juventus and go, but don't give me anyone who has any experience. Like it doesn't work that way.
Sometimes you have 4 people up front in line, and nobody that move.
All the time.
Nobody that come back to get the ball.
There's never movement off the ball to open up space for someone else, to take a defender away, to confuse. There's nothing. There's the basic movement. I mean, you can go watch midget soccer and it's the same crap, except they don't bunch up in a round circle of 11 people. I mean, that's basically it. There's nothing going on.
So here's the problem though. Pirlo, I don't know. He doesn't deserve to stay, right? We would all agree with that, right?
Yeah.
He wouldn't want him, ideally. Here's the reason why he is staying. They're paying Sarri $17 million to go away right now. They don't have money. Yeah. He's staying. I hate to tell you guys, but he's gonna be unless they finish out the top 4. I think he's staying because they don't have any money and they're not gonna waste it on.
Well, you just made a good point, Chris. How bad does it have to get where even though it's Pirlo and they know they put him in a tough spot and they could use the excuse of, we're going to renew our team. How bad would it have to get from now to the end of the season for them to even change their mind and say, okay, we're getting rid of Pirlo. And I'm not even saying you have to fire him. Maybe you make him the under 23 coach like you were originally going to do.
They would never do that.
Well, that was what he was going to do originally, right?
But they kind of did the same thing last year with Sarri. Like it just came out of nowhere at the end. Like, oh, by the way, he's fired. Let's have somebody else. So.
Let's talk about the game. Let's start to talk about the formation he put on the field, right? Now we are at the end of the championship, and now we want to invent Bernardeschi fullback.
He was lost.
That's not a bad move. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, but you don't do now. You don't invent.
It's first Benevento.
So
it's first Benevento.
You need defender. Don't think you need defender. You go get Dragoshin, the little guy that plays defense. You stay with the 3 defender you want.
No, I disagree with that because you're telling me we can't play with an offensive-minded left fullback versus Benevento. We need to have just straight defenders. That just tells you how much wrong is with the midfield and the rest of the team. Don't tell me we lost because we had Bernardeschi playing fullback because he's just not a straight defender. That means there's so much else wrong with the team that you can't have an offensive. Oh, we can't play with Gosens because he attacks on the wing too much. It doesn't make any sense.
Let's just say, right, we play Morata, Ronaldo, and Chiesa up front, right? Mm-hmm. So every Colores could do the midfield, to do the function of midfield.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a good point with
go forwards.
Yeah, it's a good point with Kovalevsky. I don't think he's found a good spot. It's another reason. He hasn't found a good spot for Kovalevsky all year, right? McKennie's been played out of position, right? Either on the wing or he hasn't. This is all reasons why I don't think Pirlo's a good coach. Right now, he's not up to the task. Because the one thing you were hoping that he had was the ability to say, wow, I played at the highest level for all these years. I know what it takes to play and position people on the field and read the game. And you don't see any of that. You see McKennie playing, then he doesn't play, then he plays on the wing. Then you see Kovalevsky, he takes a step back. Like,
so wasn't there a part of his thesis or whatever was interchangeable positions? We need to be able to play.
Where's that? Yeah. Where's that?
That's why people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but they don't move either. So you can't say it's because it's not Holland here from back in the day where it's total football and everyone's no one moves. So my thing is to not know what you're doing and have no movement. It's almost impossible to do.
Yeah. Then why did you start McCain?
Yeah, that's another question.
Why did it take so long to screech?
Every game, right, guys? We said 70 minutes.
They did 2-3 things the other people didn't do. 2-3 long pass from one side to another. One he was trying to get himself.
Yeah.
Jim.
If it was,
let me
show some life like
and
that.
let me ask you, we all say that we would get rid of every midfielder except McKennie.
yeah,
And this guy's not playing now. He's not even starting. So, like, is he hurt, or do we see the game that different? That Pirlo doesn't think he belongs on the starting with these
But
guys.
it's certo, you don't play him at all.
That's what I'm saying. So I
It's
don't
in
believe
the
that
head
he's hurt.
in the beginning.
it's definitely
I mean-
frustrating when Pirlo does. You can predict at 70th minute he's going to make a sub. When like other coaches like Juric would have taken 5 subs at halftime.
I mean,
Take off
70
5 people.
minutes every time.
Yeah.
Every time. He doesn't make a sub before that. And this is with having 5, by the way,
Yeah,
available. Like, I don't understand. They were playing so good that you couldn't figure out, what can I do to possibly get better than this? Nothing. Hold pat. It's working. Like, that's what you tell me when you wait until 70 minutes, that you're literally looking at the game going, there's not one person I could possibly change here to get to be better.
Yeah.
I have to see more.
No sense of urgency. Like at halftime, we didn't see that. Like, hey, we were playing like crap. Like maybe we should change 1 or 2 players up or something. I don't know. I don't think you can read the game.
so exactly, and that could be a wake-up call to the rest of the team. Like, hey, you're not going to play. Get the ball off the field, and you're going to start playing better. Otherwise, we're going to stop you, right? Like, there's none of that. There's none of that. I think he's scared.
Well, either he's scared or he doesn't have a clear vision, or, because all these players on the field, right? It's one thing to not be able to, you're afraid to take off Ronaldo, but don't tell me the rest of these players he can take off with nobody questioning him.
You could have changed all 11 players this weekend. There was not one person worthy of staying on that field.
That's what I'm saying. So how do you get to the 70th minute going, okay, we're just going to keep eventually we're going to score. Eventually we're going to get – what was the thought process?
I don't know.
And I blame the whole staff, not just Pirlo, by the way. His assistants.
I agree. Somebody should be in his ear. Someone should be in his ear. Like,
I understand that another thing. Tudor, which is the vice, he don't go along with Pirlo.
Oh, really? I haven't heard that.
I read that in the beginning, Tudor was to talk to him, and now lately he's not there. You don't even see him.
And
really?
He who, by the way, has much more experience than Pirlo, and has been a coach. You think you would listen to him?
So wait, what happened? Why did they stop getting along? Did they find?
Because maybe he say he want to say something, or you see something different he don't like.
Yeah, maybe Pirlo wants a yes man, and he's not being a yes man, and he's like, whatever.
But again, then that tells me, a lot of times they tell you good leaders. You know what makes a good leader? If you're a coach or in business, you surround yourself with people that are better than you, that are in areas that you're not your strong suit. So if Pirlo thinks he knows that much, and he's that finished product as a coach, that he won't even want someone with experience giving him different perspective with way, he's really stupid. He's a lost cause.
Ask yourself a question. Why did it take to wait for the 7 minutes to change someone?
Yeah, it doesn't.
When
I
you
don't get it.
something that suck from it.
It's like clockwork. You can predict it, and you know what subs he's going to make too. That's the worst part. You know exactly
every time. I mean, has he made a sub at halftime yet this season?
No, unless it was injured. Unless it was injured.
Someone injured, and I have to put somebody else.
I don't even remember that, but me. So the question: does he get any credit for the couple people that have played better this year, Chiesa and Danilo? I don't think he gets credit for Chiesa. I think that's Chiesa.
No,
I think that's Chiesa himself. Danilo, maybe, because he played better than, I don't know if you want to give him credit for somebody. But again, is that just Danilo having a better year?
After the mistake with Benevento,
yeah, that was.
I saw him maul. I said, what is that?
But the first half of the season, he was their most consistent player. Danilo.
That was old Danilo.
The only thing with Pirlo, and what she said before, not having Dybala is a big problem. Even though Pirlo was barely playing Dybala,
but he didn't play Dybala.
That's where I'm not giving the pass.
Excuse. They didn't play him.
I know. Yeah. So I don't even think he knows that. Like, hey, I need him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
I thought you were saying that's where you're missing.
I thought you were saying that you heard Pirlo say that missing Dybala is a big thing, but he doesn't even realize it.
No, if you remember, even the Dybala when he was in shape. There was the question, Morata or Dybala?
Yeah,
he never and when they ask, can they play Ronaldo, Dybala, Morata together? And he said, we see. What do we see?
Again, I don't understand, because if you notice, he has no problem playing Chiesa, Morata, Ronaldo, and Kovalevsky. Four guys together. Why can't
the situation? He's on the field. He deserves to stay in the field, Morata.
No,
No,
Even
but
you
I'm
put
saying
a Buffon the forward to play, they're better than him.
Buffon.
Except the forward, the way he's playing.
So, but
No,
think of how different. Think how different the team looks if you have Chiesa on the left, Dybala in the middle, Kulusevski on the right, them three right behind one striker. The combinations he'd be able to do with every single one of them, and how different the game would be. He's missing. That's what they're missing.
But would he play like that? Because when he had the ball, he never played him.
He started with the 3-5-2. Then he ended up with the 4-4-2.
Yeah, I mean, he
There's
doesn't
a
know what
lot
he's
of
doing.
people, Milan, Napoli, they play with 4-2-3-1, and they play better than us.
It's
At the end of the day, this roster it sucks. It's not a championship roster, right? Maybe in Serie A I could have won it, but but it's not a Champions League championship roster. There's big problems, but he didn't make anyone better.
Yeah, that's not it. But
He didn't get anyone. He didn't get them to play amazing, and they just came up short.
And too many double, too. Too many double.
But the roster's not his fault.
I just to say once, I just to say at the beginning, right now, the only one we save is Chiesa, right? The few we save is Chiesa. But then again, if you start from the beginning, you make a mistake there, buy him.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that was our whole thing, remember?
You need more hour than Chiesa.
That was our whole thing. Why we said, we didn't want him, because we were like, we don't need him, right? He's been their best player, right? But we said, do we need him when we got all these other people? We needed midfielders. So, yeah, he turned out to gotten better, right? And we want to build around him, but it's still a bad move.
Midfield now, what do we have?
Nothing. Midfield, I honestly would only keep McKennie. The
But
rest I'm over. Bentancur has gotten worse for 3 years.
And McKenna we bought in January, right?
Yeah.
Well, officially, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't buy it in the beginning.
No, it was a loan.
It was a loan.
But the problem is, guys, we agree with you. Like, we want to keep McKennie and Chiesa, and I would get rid of everyone else. But, like, it's going to be tough to get rid of some of these players.
This is going to be a long project because they're not going to have any money.
That's why I think you're going to see them.
Monday.
You're going to see them move Demiral just to get some money.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. Get rid of them. You have to think. You need other people to replace them.
Yep.
That's the problem. I think what Dan is saying is the stuff I've been saying for years with these moves, right? Is if you're trying to make money, let's say next year, right? Okay, instead of getting the ones that you really want to get rid of, no one's going to buy them. So you end up selling a Demiral, a Delit, a Dybala, right? Because
perfect example.
This tell us one simple thing. Even if we love Ronaldo, that scored all those goals for us.
I don't love him.
You cannot keep Ronaldo to play with this player.
No, you have to create. You have to create a different team if you want Ronaldo on it, and they don't have it. So,
but he's staying. I hate to tell you, he's not.
I don't think. I don't think
you think he's staying. I don't know if he's definitely going to stay.
Yeah, but stay with the same team, another year long.
It's going to be up to him. If he wants to go, he's going to go. If he doesn't want to go,
listen, he's not going to sign another contract with this team. So at the very least, you keep him another year, and then you're going to lose him for nothing because he's going to go sign somewhere else for free. So I don't think that's smart business.
If we don't get to the fourth place, for sure he's not going to stay.
Yeah, but it's.
Oh yeah, if you don't get the fourth place, he's definitely leaving.
Without the championship, he's not going to
waste the year with no Champions League. 100%.
That's true. If they don't make Champions League, he's going to want to leave.
But look at this team. They don't have enough money. Should you be spending $35 million a year for a Ronaldo on this team?
No.
Like, you shouldn't. You should try to go get yourself $20-30 million, whatever you can get for him, and you should try to, lower the wage bill, right? And guys like Arthur, Rabiot, Ramsey, I think it's addition by subtraction. Like, can you give them for $5 million, have someone else pay their salary? Adios.
And this take us always to the coach. You can start a project with all new people, but if the coach is what we saw, I'm good.
Well, that's the other thing. So let's say you were able to spin the roster into a bunch of young people, right, and starting to try a new project. Is Pirlo, from what we've seen, the guy you want starting that project? I don't think so. Like, if anything, he inherited a team that's been playing and winning for 9 years.
What project? The one young guy he has is Fagioli. He doesn't even play. So
that's what I mean. So imagine next year if they were able to spin it, right, and you bring in a bunch of young people. Do you think Pirlo's the one to get those people better? I don't think so.
I don't think Pirlo can coach.
If we go over, the Primavera under 23. Who will have in there?
No one.
Well, that's
It's
a
not.
problem.
It's not a strong. It's not a strong.
Take
youth academy.
it the under 23 Atalanta.
Yeah.
He has a lot of people in there.
It's because they invest in it.
That's been years where we get all these guys. You're like, oh, part of the deal with Tevez and whatever. We got all these young people. You never see these people even join the league, right? So it's like, what is it? Are you just pulling our leg here? When's the last time you developed? The last person we developed that we brought up was Marquizo, I think.
Yeah,
it was Caitlini Marquizo, I think, from our own thing.
Marquisio, yeah, he was probably
When's the last time we had someone that we had from under 23?
And that's why he was so loved. Yes, he was a great player, but he was also their player,
Yeah, but I'm saying that's pretty bad, right? You have all the money in the world to play with, and even when you get some young people, you sell them because, like Dan said, they're the only ways you can make some money. Why? So you can bring in another Arthur and Ramsey that you're paying, what, $8-10 million a year? How much are these guys making?
I don't know. I hate talking about this team.
Let's give Benevento a little credit. Montipo played good. I give Montipo credit. Lapadula ran his ass off. He busted his ass for 80 minutes, 70 minutes. More than I can say for any
league coaching.
More than I can say for any Juventus player. The guy moved and tried. But that's a very good win for them. Because
that could save them.
Slumping. Yeah, exactly.
That could save them for the whole season now, right?
A win like that. At least,
I'm glad. I'm glad Chesney didn't
if you see the shot and goal where like you see 21 set, and we couldn't score a goal.
Yeah.
So we're still like Ronaldo all the time.
We're not mentioning Chiesa taking the semi-dive in the box when he could have easily went over.
That's a penalty too, but we're gonna stay there.
But he's still. You can go over. You have a scoring chance. Like he goes down too easy. The same thing we've been saying.
Yeah, I think that's a bad thing for Chiesa. I hope he breaks that habit because he plays so good, and then he has these moments where it's easy for the announcer to go, "Oh, look, he threw himself on the floor." Just play the game. Just play the game. Try to score. If you get knocked down for real, you get knocked down. But don't try to be like, "Oh, I got knocked down." Why? So Ronaldo can go score on the penalty? Just play the game. Like
you understand why he did it, but at the same time, if you would have just went over him, you would have had a clear scoring chance for your team. Like, go play the game.
Yeah, it's like you think you're being smart, but it's like that's when I think there's too much. Like how can I get a penalty here? You need to get a penalty, a fake penalty versus Benevento to get back in the game. Like just play.
They were crying about handballs and any advantage they can get. They cry for it. So,
and here's the thing: the more I know, we're saying, "Oh, like we're gonna get Chiellini and blah blah blah."
I see at the chat a fan say, "I'd rather have a Chester Lee coaching." Who's Chester Lee?
Chester Lee, remember Ladybugs? The coach, Ronnie Dangerfield.
I was. Yes. Penny Pester, you're in a different time zone. You could just put Bonucci's name in there. You could put Arthur.
She's saying take Chesney, Ronaldo. I don't know. Radiotherapy. She means Rabiot. I don't know. Bonucci and
Bonucci has to go.
Yeah. Listen, where's he going? He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. Listen,
let it go. Let it give it to the paper.
As much as I'm a critic of Paratici, if he was able to get rid of these people, I would change my mind and say he's executive of the year because no one's going to take these guys.
Get rid of them for 5 cents on the dollar? Because
that's what I mean. I don't even think you could do that because the guy's going to go, wait, I have to pay him $10 million.
Because they make so much. Because they make so much money.
You're not getting
his forehead.
For some 10, 15 million, a lot of teams.
Go back to Milan. Yeah, go back to Milan. That's what I said. At this point, trade Romagnoli for him. Let's get him on the team.
Well, that was another stupid move, right? Like we got rid of Bonucci, and then we were dumb enough to buy him back.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
I would take Renault at this point.
All right, let's move on for this game. I can't talk about them. The only other thing I was going to say that Allegri's been in the news. Like he had an interview this weekend too, talking about Juventus. They asked him a bunch of questions, and Juventus was one of the things. And one of the questions they asked him, would you return to Juventus? And he didn't say no, but he didn't say yes.
Listen, I don't think that's a good move anyway. Like
I don't think so either.
They did that great with Allegri.
They
played better than this.
Allegri, we like the way we play.
We didn't like
Yeah.
it. So, like, again, I don't want to go back. That's like no salute. But I could see Juventus doing that, right? Like,
No,
let's bring back Allegri.
I
Why?
totally could see them doing that.
Why?
Yeah.
It's so many teams do that. Like, you didn't play great when he was here. Why are we bringing him back?
You know, there is 2 coach you can play. The first one is Gasperini. So with the hope you can take some guy from Atalanta to us.
Gasperini or Zidane.
In Mihajlovic.
Or Mihajlovic.
That would be an interesting one. Yeah.
Mihajlovic would do good. You know, I think Zidane's going to be Juventus coach eventually. I don't know when.
Zidane.
Anyone who costs money
is another one. If he doesn't have a player, he cannot do nothing.
Well, that's most of these coaches, right? The only coach that really does a lot with, and you can't say Gasperini doesn't have players.
Gasperini is sure he can do without.
Yeah.
Well, they have good players. They're just not known players.
It's not only that, like, he improves the players. Like, he teaches the players. It's different than what Pirlo's doing with these players.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to start a new project, to the point that we were saying earlier, then I would put Gasperini there, right?
It doesn't matter. He's not leaving, but
but I don't see why would you leave Atalanta to go to Juventus?
No,
I mean,
he's
I think
not
he would. I think he would. He would to go play champion. Well, now he's in the Champions League, but you know,
he might make a little
they
bit.
don't have money. It's not happening. Don't worry.
You talk, it doesn't never mind.
Let's go to another game. I'm sick of talking about. I'm sure we'll talk about them during these other games too. Somehow it always goes back to them. So Dom, throw up another game. I don't care which one you go to.